Hello, welcome to the Home Front with Eno for Politics with KO. Now it's a new year and with it comes the usual New Year's resolutions. But here in Nigeria, the month kicked off with the fulfillment of an old promise, the ban on imported vehicles across Nigeria's land borders. On the 5th of December 2016, the federal government announced that the ban would come into effect on the 1st of January 2017, giving car dealers and those directly linked with the importation of vehicles across Nigeria's land borders hardly any time to prepare. Now, this was for the most part rather unpopular amongst Nigerians, who feared the ban would result in high job losses, higher priced vehicles, customs working with smugglers and even busier seaports. Luckily, Nigeria was given a lifeline as the Senate rejected the ban, calling it an anti-people policy. They called on Nigeria's customs service to immediately suspend the ban. How will the federal government respond? Time will tell. Senate President Bukola Saraki would be proud of me as I can use the Made in Nigeria hashtag. What I'm wearing comes from Esosa, a fabulous Nigerian designer. So what's the hashtag all about? Well, this month Saraki launched a contest to help promote Made in Nigeria products, and it's called the hashtag Made in Nigeria Challenge. It's scheduled to run for 3 months and will help identify products that can be matched with government agencies and investors. To be a part of the contest, you need to be producing something that uses at least 70% of locally sourced raw materials here in Nigeria. Now, this is brilliant. Far more exciting, I think, than Lake Rice, as instead of politicians having the opportunity to get richer from competing with importers, ordinary Nigerians have the chance to as well. Last month, President Buhari spoke of Boko Haram being crushed, and that came after the army successfully regained control of the Sambisa forest from insurgents. But this month, bomb attacks have continued. Adamawa and Borno State were perhaps hit the hardest, but the worst occurred in Borno State, when an internally displaced persons camp was bombed twice. And it wasn't bombed by Boko Haram. It was bombed by none other than the Nigerian army. In perhaps the worst accident to occur this year, a bomb intended for Boko Haram hit the refugee camp. Now, it's so sad that people that had fled such extreme violence should face it again, and face it from the hands of those that should be protecting them the most. When President Muhammadu Buhari was running for president, he made the campaign promise that if elected, he would begin paying poor Nigerians a monthly stipend. Now, I personally admired the APC for thinking of such a progressive policy. So when the election was won, I'm sure I wasn't the only one left wondering what happened to this promise. Well, it seems Buhari has stayed true to his word, as this month he announced he would begin paying 1 million poor Nigerians a monthly stipend of 5,000 naira. He said he would first begin doing so in 9 states. Now, 5,000 naira is roughly £13, depending on who changes your money. So it's hardly life-changing or work deterrent, as is feared in the West. But as we say here in Nigeria, half bread is better than no bread. Enoch Adeboya, or Daddy Gio as he's referred to by members of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, earlier in the month stepped down as the general overseer of the church. Now, he did so in compliance with a corporate governance code that was issued by Nigeria's Financial Reporting Council. The code states that no leader or founder of an NGO should be a part of the governance for more than 20 years. Now, it seems I wasn't the only one that found this rather ridiculous, as not only did the federal government suspend the code, the federal government also went on to fire the executive secretary of the FRC as well. President Buhari has been heavily involved with other ECOWAS leaders in trying to ensure a smooth transition of power in the Gambia, from former leader Yahya Jammeh to newly elected leader Adama Barrow. After numerous talks and threats of military intervention, Yahya Jammeh finally agreed to step down. And that brings us to the end of the Home Front with Eno, but I'll be back next month with more stories Nigerians are talking about. Eno Alfred Adeogun for Politics with KO.